Okay, hi everyone. I'm Smithy Q. Today's a special day. It's June 26th, 2025. So this is actually the 6-year anniversary of when I published my course, Smithy's Opening Fundamentals. I don't know where the time went, guy. Um, but because it's a special day, let's have a special treat. Let's finish off the annotated game section with the bonus game that was featured. This game actually came about after I had published essentially the whole course. It was waiting sort of in that beta test period before it got the final nod. And then one of my guilty pleasures is watching Blitz on Lichess. And here are two of the strongest players played an absolutely great game. Well, it was really great by white. And we can see here was F4. And I want to share this game for a couple reasons. Again, well, A, it's beautiful. It's a really nice, fantastic game from White. But also, again, it's modern blitz chess. This is what many of us are playing. And so these are the type of things that we're going to see. And it's nice to see how the same thought process that I've been espousing for game after game now still applies. And so, we offer the pawn. Black's going to take it. Wonderful. And now White plays bishop c4. This is almost a dare. Black, are you brave enough to play queen goes to h4 check? Because after king goes to f1, yes, this king can't move, but this queen is going to be the victim of knight f3 is coming, white's going to gain time, then we're going to get d4, probably get bishop takes f4, and so you can see that not only is white giving up a pawn, white is giving up some king safety in order to gain even more time. If you look at this from the computer, it says it's not very impressed and it thinks black's doing pretty well. You look at the stats, especially the online blitz stats, and white scores tremendously. So black doesn't do that. Black simply plays d6. After knight f3, he goes in with g5. Now, I'm not going to say this is a bad move, right? It's quite similar, in fact, to a game that we looked at, I believe, 2 videos ago. It's the same sort of idea. But we always need to pay attention to what happens when we're making a whole bunch of pawn moves. It says now move 4, and black has 0 pieces developed. And white, he takes the principled stance. h4. The idea is that after g4, basically forcing the pawn, the knight now has this nice square on g5, and we're double attacking f7. So what do, black? You gotta defend it somehow. He blocks it with the knight, and then white's gonna play d4. And I remember watching this game live. It was at this point that Black started thinking and started thinking and started thinking. And then he played the next few moves very, very quickly. And so to me, this is the idea that Black was thinking of a plan. So it's not just what am I going to do for my one move? What am I going to do for the next series of moves? I want you to notice what Black did. He's not simply developing with knight c6, and after bishop takes f4, something like bishop goes to g7. Notice that development is equal. Black has a little bit less control of the center. His king size is a little bit weakened, but the game's okay. This is one option. Instead, Black ended up playing queen goes to e7. So we can see right away, moving the queen early. Sure, looking at e4, but easy to defend. Then he played c6, again, almost immediately. Unnecessary pawn move. And then after castling, he played f6. Unnecessary pawn move that doesn't help with development and weakens the king. Now, I think we can see why he played f6, and black could have played f6 basically any time in the last few moves. This knight actually has nowhere to go. But in the king's gambit, this is relatively common. This was certainly common, 200 years ago. The idea is, sure, you know what, white? Black, you can take that knight, because I'm going to play bishop takes f4, and then after you recapture, my bishop's going to come in, and look, we got the open f file, we still have pressure against the king, and there's a lot of complications here. I'm not necessarily saying that this idea is always good, but I am saying is that it can be very, very dangerous. But then black, again, what does he do? He plays b5, he then plays b4, and then he finally takes the knight, and then he takes on e4. So what on earth did what black just do, if we were to back up? From the time that he started thinking, all the way back here on d4, his entire focus, it wasn't on developing, it wasn't on king safety, it was on winning material. See this? Queen goes to e7, trying to win a pawn. And then he plays c6, f6 to trap the knight, which was always trapped, right? Like he could have played, f6 all the way here. Knight's trapped, right? But he plays c6, f6, b5, b4, 1,000 pawn moves, all to win one pawn. Well, and a knight, I guess. He's up a piece, right? So he's up material. But hopefully at this point, through all the countless examples that I've listed, we know that time is the most important thing in the opening. These pieces are not helping. In fact, this piece isn't helping. Nothing is helping. And look, there's a nice open e-file. And I want you to notice how easy the next white moves are. Sure, you're down a piece, but does it matter? Here we go. We're going to play knight goes to g3, open e-file. We're attacking the queen. And the queen doesn't have a lot of squares to go. Because again, if the queen were to stay on the e-file, you're just going to win it. So the only move. So now it's really simple. Let's bring our rook all the way in, attacking the queen, making our rook even better. Again, we're now threatening something, bring the other rooks over. Very, very simple. Queen goes all the way back. Now what? Simple. Let's keep developing. Queen goes to d3, preparing the other rook to slide over with check. Is this the only good move? No. There are so many good moves for white, but the idea is simple. Bring all the pieces into the attack. Black plays d5. Okay, just for the record, it's move 16, and still almost all of his minor pieces are on the back rank. Other rook slides over. White has all of his pieces in the game. Does it matter that he's down a rook? Not in the slightest. He tries to run. Now it's actually funny. We've got rook takes h8. White has actually won back his knight. So he's not even down material. He's got a huge attack. And then black finally develops. Well, knight comes to d7. It hits the queen and the bishop. Knight is also attacking it. And so black just resigns. Black has had enough at this point. Beautiful, fantastic game. And do we see the real clash of styles, if you will? All the way from move one uh, on f4. And then corresponding, white is inviting black to not only win material, but to waste time. And that's precisely what black does. Here we are. It's move 6. Black has 0 pieces developed. Okay, the one piece he develops on the side of the board. And then notice the incorrect thought process. That is, black was focusing so much on winning material instead of trying to fight back on the time stakes, on getting developed. And that allows, okay, sure, good job, black, you've won a piece. But at what cost? In this case, it's the cost of his king. It's clearly in the crosshairs, and he does not live much longer. So again, it's a really nice, again, modern example of all the opening principles still working. Develop, control the center, king safety, um, sacrifice pawns if it's going to give you that lead in time because it's going to help you play games like this. I hope it was inspiring. I really enjoy watching games like this. I've enjoyed, again, putting this course together, and it's been a huge thrill, actually. You know, here it is, what, 6 years later, to go through a lot of these games again and to see how my own perspective has changed. You know, I'm a stronger player than I was those years ago when I first put this course together. My knowledge has grown, and I'm hoping that I was able to, express that and really take the most important parts to let you know, so that way you can take the most value out of these games. So yeah, so that's it. This has been a lot of videos in a very short period of time, so I'm probably going to take a break from this whole YouTube thing, but then I'll probably come back at some point. So here's what I'm going to say again. Thank you so much for helping me be a chess author. I couldn't do this if there weren't people that were interested in my thoughts, my writings, and these videos. So again, thank you so much. And if there's anything, in the future that you want to see me do or that you would like help with, like, let me know, and then I can try and do something. It's a lot easier than working with a blank slate. So again, thank you so much. This has been a huge a blessing and an honor. It's been a lot of fun. And for the last time for a little bit, I'm going to sign off now. So this is Smithy Q. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.